Good morning. This is Frida Future with a very special edition of Woke Your Butt Up. I'm back in New York and I want to recap quickly what's gone on over the last year. I started driving at the eclipse last August and I set forth for Burning Man. I crossed the country in the cross-country China. I picked up Natalie in Denver. When I got to Denver, the side view mirror on the passenger side got clipped off like a potato chip when I tried to change lanes carelessly into a semi-truck. Luckily, that was the moment I was picking up Natalie, so she could stick her head out the window and let me know if it was safe to change lanes for the rest of the trip. We went to Burning Man, radical ritual. It was amazing. I barely took a picture. I had dreadlocks in my hair with puppet snakes on the ends like Medusa, and at the meeting of a sex cult, I did a blood ritual in which I disrobed before an altar in front of a tent full of people and my dear friend Thea Hinkle, and I pulled out my menstrual cup and I smeared blood all over my face and I made a painting. And yeah, I hosted the Cosmic Con conference and we drank iced coffee every day and I was totally in love with Natalie. On the night of the burn, we were psychedelic superstars, conjuring up magic and adventure, and cadres of boys to support us, Boy Scouts and beautiful Swedes and amazing DJs at every turn, and then we danced and loved each other and rode our bicycles hand in hand and said, can we please do this every year forever, and said yes and loved each other. And then I hightailed it after dropping off a hitchhiker in Joshua Tree where I would spend a lot of time. I hightailed it to McAllen, Texas, deep in the deep South Texas border, Rio Grande Valley. 90 miles an hour, because I was already out of alignment, rushing to get there to meet my yoga teacher, my tantra teacher, my mentor, my dear friend who drank my piss once on the playa, who taught me and initiated me, who I loved. I went there to do a Cosmic Con conference at her yoga studio because I promised her I would. And I sped there 90 miles an hour in my crazy van until I popped a tire and I missed the first day of our event. And she doing it. And the rest of it was beautiful, and then I signed up to do a class, and then I was driving her kids to school, and we were loving each other, and we were a family. I helped her move. I held space and danced next to her. I loved her. I loved her children. I loved her community. I loved the people who were there. And then she left, and she went to New York, and we had a big fight. We never made up. And I left McAllen in a huff and a puff, and I went to Austin. I ran away to my aunt's house, this amazing plant witch who had this yard full of cactuses and perennials that she spoke to and that she knew, and she opened up her home to me, and there were images of Frida Kahlo everywhere, and I was at home with my kin, and I was supported. I had an amazing time in Austin. I spent a lot of time in 24-hour coffee shops getting weird in the middle of the night with one college kid who, if the roles were reversed gender-wise, it'd be real creepy, this 30-year-old guy showing up and seducing a 21-year-old studying for a math test. Come to my van and I'll show you a good time, little girl. What a creep. Oh, but he was good to me, and so was everyone in Austin. And then I met Tiger Kelly one night. I was on the phone at Pot Coffee in the middle of the night. And I was talking about conscious healing, and she heard me, and she wrote me a note before I got off the phone. This Labradorite wearing super Turo, wild, ceremonial, self-initiating witch just became my partner, my Two of Cups, and we planned an event for right after Halloween called The Dark Cunt. And we converted our sister's house into a pussy fun house, a warm, velvety, pink and red, beautiful initiation into the mysteries of the cosmic cunt, and especially the shadow side, working with the dark cunt, and we had shrines to Eve and Lilith, and we had Medusa on the wall, and we had a wild temple for Kali in the backyard with a 9-foot tall painting of Kali that I practically carved out of thin air with my hands in the paint. I carved this head, this wild head with a big crazy tongue, and we filled her little shed with packing materials and paper to rip and encourage people to rage in the Kali space, and we had a womb room for creation with arts and crafts and people making signs, and it was beautiful, cuddle puddle for people to decompress in, and then DJs that pumped all night. It was supposed to end at 9 p.m. No one wanted to go home. We had a banger and a cuddle puddle and a beautiful ceremony that lasted until 9 a.m. And it was beautiful, and we were all in love with each other, and it was good. And it was good. We made something really good. This ceremony of integration, of representing the light and the dark, the masculine and the feminine, and we loved ourselves and we loved each other, and it was awesome. And then things soured, things got strange. The bad blood from the fallout with my teacher spread to my sister in Austin, and I left there too in a huff and a puff. And in one day there were 3 people from San Diego who reached out to me and said, "Come here, be with us, love us." And so I went to San Diego, and I thought I was going to be part of this triad, a sort of echo of other triads that had happened over the last year of me sort of being half in love with a man or a woman, and loving their partner and being open to their partner, but not quite knowing what I want, not quite being available, and just needing what I needed. And that was the same spirit that I think I went there into to Ocean Beach, sweet Ocean Beach, a vortex of healing and yoga and love and light and amazement. And I went to Ocean Beach, and I stayed there, and I healed, and I did yoga, and I worked very closely with my dear sister, and ultimately I think I took advantage a little bit of them opening their home. I was parked outside their house for almost 3 months, just going to yoga, doing my thing, making some stuff, not really making any money, not really working. We had a vision, a shared vision, and along the way I just couldn't hold it with them anymore. We weren't communicating with each other, things broke down. Ooh, I have a long ode to Craigslist to share with you, and things got really weird one night. I followed my pussy into the recesses of Craigslist looking for weird drugs or weird fun, and I fell in with this guy. I did a bodywork session on him, and when he rolled over, he had the most beautiful cock I'd ever seen. Or so I thought in that moment, bewitched. I looked up and the time was 7:17 in the video. It's a number that means a lot to me. It means trust yourself. Tell the story. Just trust yourself. Tell the story. It's funny. You follow yourself. You do weird things. You open up sex magical portals with people you don't know. You take on their karma, and then that's where you are. I fell into this bizarre abusive thing that the silver lining really was that I learned about how people gaslight themselves into this kind of craziness. They want to be loving, they want to be good, they're narcissistic, they want the attention, they want to prove something to someone. I wanted this person to love me, I wanted to change him, but I knew he was an asshole. He fucking, man, the things I did, in the middle of the highway when he ran out of gas, he guilted me about where we had driven the night before, and I showed up and I gave him more money, and God, in the end, it was so awful. We were fighting and screaming and yelling. He ejaculated inside of me without my consent and gave me chlamydia, and I had to take Plan B. And we broke up that night, and he had thrown a book at me and woke up the neighbors, and it was awful. And I was super, super traumatized, and I felt like I couldn't follow my pussy after that because I'd trusted her. And then I'd stopped trusting her when she showed me messages at the beginning of warning signs and get out of there. I just kept going, and sometimes you have to run it into the ground to recognize when you've gone too far, and that's what I did in that case. And it ruptured things with my friends in Ocean Beach. I was really weird that month, and I didn't do yoga, and I just followed this weird thread instead. But I got some work done, and I launched my online course. I created an online version of the Cosmic Con Conference, and that was pretty cool. I had some amazing friends enrolled in sharing with me the digital version of everything we'd learned about listening from nothing and following your body and creating spaces to celebrate and creating ceremony and honoring the dark side. And it was fucking rad, and for 8 weeks we really dove deep. And on my birthday, I had the most amazing birthday. I came home for a little while, and I was home in New York, and I recharged, and I fell back in love with New York, and we had the Woke Sleepover. The Woke Sleepover was amazing. There were some funky vibes there, man. We planned this amazing adult sleepover, and we had it in the Bronx, and everybody's shadows and mirrors came out, and we honored a lot of trauma and vulnerability and a lot of sexiness too, and consent, and it was sweet, and it was tender, and it was our best effort, and we learned a lot. And then I went back to California, and I had magma, and Wow, the volcanoes. Oh my God, the volcanoes. Kit and Rosie Volcano. Big shout out to them for giving me a dose of my magic back, for helping me come back to myself, and everyone who was there at Magma, this amazing transformational event that my friends hosted just right there. It was the lure to bring me back to California right on time in the middle of April. And wow, I loved myself, and I had a psychedelic vision come true that I had been having for a long time of sitting in this seat before a soul family that had all gathered in a gathering that, surprise, was for me, and it was the seat from the cover of Be Here Now, from Ram Dass's Be Here Now, and I sat there in the seat and I channeled, and I was high energy, and I told my story, and we loved each other, and we all learned so much, and we shed so much, and we had this collective vision of everyone's empowerment, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and we left that space, and a couple of days later I turned 30, and I went to the Volcano's house, and we painted the van all day, and I had the last meeting of my online workshop on the phone, and we listened to each other, and we wept with gratitude, and it was beautiful, and I got the van washed, and I got ready for the next steps. I got ready to pack up and leave San Diego, and I started to drive north, and I went to Oceanside, and I stayed with Nancy, where Nancy had the hat that said future waiting for me that she'd had from yoga teacher training months ago that she'd shared with some of our friends. Forest Yoga with 2 R's. Shout out to Anna Forrest. Shout out to Walking in Beauty. Shout out to Being Your Own Shaman. Wow, I'm so in love with our community. I'm so in love with everyone that I've met along the way. Thank you so much, Anna Forrest. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this drumbeat back to myself. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I hear your heartbeat. Sacred sound and weaving together ceremony and loving ourselves. Yes, 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 yes. And I drove north, and Nancy kind of nursed me back to health as I recovered and came into myself and got ready to keep moving. And Janelle Monáe's album dropped. Oh my God, Dirty Computer. Oh my God, Pink. Oh my God, the battle for America's soul between Donald Trump and Janelle Monáe. It was so amazing. I stayed up all night crying, listening to the album, and I was riding in the van, and I was driving north, and it was outrageous. And I made my way to LA. I did some body work along the way, and I connected with my gifts, and I felt love, and I felt gratitude, and wow, and I reconnected with Rasan, my love from college, my very first Christian love, a spirit love, where we were in that dimension together, working with spirituality, and wow, he took such amazing care of me, and I did comedy for the first time. I did a couple of 5-minute sets at the Haha Club in North Hollywood, and it was outrageous, and it was awesome, and I was so excited, and I just told my story, and I was moving energy, and Rasan and I hosted. Before that, I was in Long Beach. Wow, Long Beach. Thank you, Eco Coffee. Thank you, Peter in Long Beach, who as I was having amazing inspiration about how to value my time and how to quantify what I've been up to, these individual sessions I want to offer, and the coaching and the teaching, right? I'm like sitting there having breakthroughs about it in his coffee shop, and he comes over and he talks to me, and he's like, I want to support you, like let's create together and tell me more, and he felt it like moving through him, the energy, and wow, it was so beautiful to be affirmed in that way with someone so sensitive. Thank you, Peter. And we went to Yoga on the Bluff, where they have free yoga, 100 people practicing right next to the ocean in Long Beach. Wow. Thank you, Dharma, who founded Yoga on the Bluff. It's so powerful and so beautiful that people are out there just creating these amazing spaces for us to drop in and have psychedelic union in the breath. Oh, the breath. And there I met Yasmin. I thought she was Peter at first. I was looking for him. I met this amazing woman, Yasmin, and she became my dear friend, my love, my alien star sibling there in Long Beach, who held me down and gave me so much light and so much encouragement, who saw me as a teacher and a friend, and loved me for exactly who I was, and we lit each other up. And she came to a yoga class that I organized a few days later. A few people came to this amazing yoga class that Peter helped to make, and we taught yoga on the beach, and then we had the infinite surprise party finally in Long Beach when Tiger came to visit. We threw this wild gathering with Yasmin and a bunch of friends. We just came together for high vibes, and everyone bring your gifts outside the lawn across the yard from Peter's coffee shop, and young people, this young man in apparel with green eyes and a green furrow, and so much heart, and all these other beautiful beings. We all came together, and we made art together, and we read tarot, and we did some yoga, and yeah, we're just making events on the fly, and things are happening. And so then Tiger, amazing Tiger with the Labrador right around her throat, who came to visit me, and wow, oh my God, Tiger came, and then the van broke down. We went to visit the Fungineers. I'm leaving out so much. There are so many things that happen. The Fungineers, we know about the Fungineers because of lightning in a bottle, because of Una. Oh, dear sweet Una and Stephanie. Oh, Una is my love, my love, my love from a star, Una, who I did yoga teacher training with, who I reconnected with at Lightning in a Bottle, who I got to go to this festival because of Nancy, who connected me with her first at Shakti Fest. The vision after all the things that we did with the volcanoes was to go to this festival and start filming and make a TV show of all of us on the road, and the wild web we've woven. Web, the name of the place where my van broke down. Webb's auto body, we had to be towed 3 times across the city. Oh my God, so many things happened. But before that, Una, I love you. Una is an amazing yoga teacher, an amazing actress, my dear friend. She had a cacao ceremony with Mayan elders in her backyard. She's a sacred musician at Lightning in a Bottle. We followed our ears to the Fungineers, to this wild, incredible puppet ice cream show, and oh my God, I'm losing the thread now a little bit of what's important. So many details. I'll tell you everything, but suffice it to say, it's been an amazing time. It's been an amazing time of growth and expansion and loving myself and loving amazing people, and we've created so much, a Cosmic Conference and so many variations, and returning home again to the heart, to loving ourselves, to loving our bodies, to expressing our feelings, to reprogramming our minds. We thank Joe Dispenza, we thank the volcanoes, we thank David Bayer, wow, we thank Abraham Hicks and Bashar, we thank Cryon, and on this day, this frequency flew through me, and I'm so grateful to share with you. My story is our story, our coming to adventure and exploring ourselves and discovering what we want to make and how we want to share it, and crashing and burning sometimes, you know, feeling low and exploring what's there, and coming back up and riding the wave and being the artist of our creation, and creating what we want out of life, and loving what's there, even when we don't like it, because it's showing us something we're going to learn, it's going to redirect us, and it contains the seeds of the next story. So thank you. I love you. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. I love you. I'm in love. I'm in love.